Hey guys, what is up? It's Mystar back again, showing you how to slowly become a Mystar of your reality. Well, as I'm too showing myself. But as we are going on to the next subject, as you can tell from the title is talking about free resources and skill building. So before I want to get into that, the whole resources and skill building, I want to get into the astrology. As you guys know, if you've been watching this channel, then you know that I'm all about the astrology. Well, I don't know about all about the astrology, but I see the importance, so I like to use it as a teaching moment because it's a good template. But the tool is just the tool, and we need to unmirror this. Sorry, guys. Let's unmirror. There we go. Okay, so we are currently in Capricorn Moon at the moment. Capricorn Moon is talking about your status and what you are known for right now. So, everything you've done in the previous moons that we've just come out of, which is Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, those are all accumulating to come up to what you are known for. You're going to compile each of these experiences and manifestations and mind states that you've gone through throughout these phases, and it's going to compile into this moon here. So people reacting, responding to your status, what you're known for, your career, or what could become your career later down the line, um, or just standing on business. So when it comes to the moon, it's reacting and responding to that Capricorn like energy, status, what you're known for, um, what could ultimately become your career, like that stable earth energy, but the stable earth energy of like cardinal modality, because we have cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Cardinal is all about initiating and creating. So when it comes to Capricorn moon, it's like initiating and creating that practical sense of reacting, that practical sense of status and what you're known for, that practical earthly energy that you're building or have already built in this case, because we're in the Capricorn moon, have already built for yourself. So, this is when the transformations that you would have gone through during Scorpio moon and the expansion that you would have gone through during Sagittarius moon is now starting to become solidified in earth, as opposed to being initially being in water and fire, which are more um, lighter in weight in terms of comparison to earth, the earth element. So now it's moving into the earth element. It's starting to become solidified and grounded of whatever you've accumulated, and you're able to initiate that into the world. When you're known for something, you're able to initiate more of what you're known for in order to create like more of those experiences and so on and so forth. So that's how you can see the story as of now with astrology and how things actually flow, and each sign actually has like its own story, and depending on the planetary alignment too, they also have their own story. But it's just knowing the template of the energies, we don't really need to worry about the names so much, just the template of what the energies represent, then you'll be able to see the story. But if you're just focused on the names and then the names and like a little bit of the energies, then you only go so far with that knowledge. Which, there's a benefit and a downfall to everything. That's also a catalyst for you to jump into the next level of astrology in general. So yeah, Capricorn moon, because we're reacting and responding to this sense of stability and initiating some kind of practical way of going about things, or initiating some kind of solid foundation to stand on when it comes to the way that you feel. And then when it comes to the sun being in Libra too, this is about bringing balance. Like it's going to be perceived in a more balanced way, or in a more fair and balanced way, or in a more relatable way. So rather than like you're basically, when people are reacting, responding to what you're initiating or your status and what you're possibly known for during this time, it's going to be perceived in a way that's relatable or fair and balanced. And when it's like relatable, that could be in many different forms, but relatable is being able to be more receptive to something, right? Being able to relate to it and connect to it on a certain level. So when you relate your status and what you're known for, it's going to be easier and more easy to be seen in a sense. And then it's also going to be more in a fair and balanced way. So it's in a way where, you know, whatever maybe manifestations you've accumulated from another sun transit too, it's going to be showing all the imbalances, all the balances, all the mistakes, all the little kind of intricacies of where you've let yourself get tipped off scale and you've gone too far into one end or another, into a bias or so on and so forth. So it's going to, your status and what you're known for and how others react to that is going to be like shown in a way where others are able to see kind of the fruits of your labor, in a sense, when it comes to how balanced or imbalanced you are when you're going about your day-to-day things beyond status and what you're known for, but also like how you relate to others and the world around you, you know, because the sun is still there, so it's all like about relatability and relationships. And then the ability that the ability that Capricorn and Libra are going to give you is a sense to know what you want to solidify based on what you have as solidified already, and know, you know, maybe some stuff that you have wanted or thought that was beneficial or fair and balanced is not so fair and balanced as it was before. So you're able to see those qualities on a more broader scale or a more clarity state of mind, rather than looking at it and thinking that it's all like kind of muddled and muddy waters. So yeah, that's a little breakdown of the astrology for now, guys. Might actually go in on that another time as well, because I noticed that flowed really well. Anywho, let's get straight into the free resources that I was going to break down in this video too. I wanted to break down, well, the first free resource that I've been using for months and months is freaking FL Studio 121, not one. FL Studio 21. It is of unlimited free trial, so you can literally just practice and practice and practice, especially if you don't know anything about music production or recording in like a studio-esque setting type of thing. Then you will be able to use this free trial for as long as you want, to be able to learn all the little details about producing music and recording. And then also a little side thing as well, there's a lot of different VSTs, free VSTs online as well that you can get, which is like a plugin for FL Studio or other programs if you already have another program. The VSTs, you can search up a lot of free different VSTs, but there's some good ones that I've been using myself. I really like MPC Beats is pretty cool. I got this one. I'm pretty sure I found that one. What's it called? From Mooney Mercury on YouTube. Shout out to him. He freaking showed me a lot of different like cool VSTs. Mind you, the ones that he was talking about were paid, but I searched up some of them and I found out that they actually have some free versions. So it's really cool that you can access those as well. And then we also have Hype. Hype was one of the other ones that I downloaded. that I really liked, and this is all free versions too. And I still feel that the qualities of the sounds and the plugin itself is pretty good. So that's why I recommend them. Shout out to them as well. And yeah, those are really good. Those are two good ones that I use. But you can search up your own and research your own free VSTs as well. But just putting the idea out there that there is free VSTs available to those that might, want to pursue that or learn more about music production. So that's a cool one to do. And also we have this one is probably one of my favorites. I like. Oh my gosh, sorry about that, guys. We got some freaking toys over there. I freaking flipped to the wrong camera. I got like two cameras on the back. Like, what is going on? Anywho's, so this one is called BandLab. You can access online without downloading it, or you can download it as an app on your phone. This one's really good. I haven't actually used the website version, I don't think, but you can also connect a MIDI device to it. It's completely free. There's paid stuff within the program, of course, but the reason why I love this one is because you have like a lot of different loops that you can kind of really easily put together. And I think it's good if you don't actually know how to produce music at all and you kind of just want to make music right on the spot, like straight away. But, like that's up to preference as well. Some people would rather learn and just take their time to learn. But if you would want to make like a quick, easy beat, not just easily quickly get into the flow of something and like maybe jot down like tunes, melodies, whatever, like this is a really good free resource to use for people who would just like just like to get into it really easily and quickly possibly. And then we also have actually I'll just show a little demonstration because I want to show the loops that they actually have. Looks like I can't even find any. Drum machine is not the one. Don't know what, they don't have it, but on the application they have like these loopers that you can really use, and it's really easy to put together like a nice beat on the app. So I'd probably recommend the app more than this, just based on that, because that was the main reason on why I liked this program. Other than that, the instruments are pretty like they're decent, but they're not the best in terms of quality. But like you can make some good beats on there still. So yeah, BandLab, shout out to them. That's a freaking good program too. And those are the two free resources that I had right there. But also beyond those two free resources as well, because this is just music, but there's also free resources for a bunch of ways you can make art online. There's like so many different resources online on the internet, despite the fact that a lot of people struggle with the internet and find it scary or so on and so forth, which is arguably just another psyop by the government to put you into fear because they want everyone to like be in a certain mind state and state of being, which is more in your lower animalistic natures. And then when you are in your lower animalistic natures, you're like more likely to make emotional type decisions. You're more likely to find yourself, in a fucked up physical state as well as your mental state, because everything bends in from your mental to your physical realm. And they know that, your mental creates your physical reality. So when they put you in this state of being, they know where it's going to lead you to. And a lot of the time, it just leads you back into their world, either paying them or giving them some kind of money because you need their help, or praising them because you need their help because you're like have to look externally and go out to someone else to. So that's like kind of like their way, that how they like to play God, and they like to because then you're going to them thinking that they are the end all be all and that they have everything that you need. But in reality, you probably have access to a similar ability, or you have access to something that could help you in general. But because, maybe you're so disconnected from a certain part of reality that you're not able to see that, hence what I was saying about everything bending in from the mental to the physical. Because if you'd known that, then you would know that, a lot of the stuff, a lot of the issues that you'd be facing in your life is really just based on a certain mentality, a certain character. And that character, and even though it may not be per se like you acting in a certain way, but it may be you acting or being in an opposite way to what that character attracts, or something like along those lines. So like that character starts to draw in and bring certain energies and manifest certain outcomes from it, regardless of whether or not it's good or bad. But it's just because like attracts like, and birds of a feather flock together kind of energy. So that character is like imagine it's like a bird. It's like its own bird, its own bird of a feather. But when you hold on to it too long, you start resonating with that bird of a feather, and then all the other feathers begin to flock. So that's how you can get yourself into situations where you're in more of that state of being where you don't realize that you are the one that's creating your reality. Your reality is not happening to you or for you, it's just happening through you. So every time you are able to emanate and externalize something, then you're able to create something from that reality. But yeah, I don't want to go too deep into that because this whole video was about free resources. But I'm still all about that spirituality. So it's natural. If it comes natural, it comes natural. Sometimes shit happens. So yeah, when it comes to the internet, as I was saying, there's lots and lots of free resources and benefits to the internet, despite the fact that the shadow government tries to instill fear in us and make us feel afraid. And yes, for some of the reasons, it's actually due to truthful shit, like the fact that they surveillance everything you're doing on the internet, and you've got like this digital footprint and so on and so forth, where they can track all the different things that you do. But those are all in terms of agreements. If you agree to the terms and conditions, and before you go into an app, then you already know you're getting yourself into that. And if not, then I'm here to tell you, that's been happening for ages. Welcome to the 21st century. That's been happening for a long, long time, where they're selling your information to third-party companies, and then you say yes every time you press agree. So, but regardless, when we get past all the surveillance bullshit and everything like that, there's still a lot of good resources and a lot of beneficial stuff online that you can use to actually kickstart a career, a status, Capricorn energy, a way of going about something or relating to something, shifting your ability to relate to the external, instead of seeing things like, oh, well, if I want this, I need to do this, this, and this. Realizing that if you have free resources available to you, or if you have an opportunity available to you, you can utilize that as you please. But some people get complacent. I've been guilty of that in my past. This is why I feel like it's important to even know this stuff as well, because this can also tell people as well. At the end of the day, there's no really any excuse to postponing the things that you want to do and the things that resonate with your true state of being. This is how you are supposed to build skills. It's like a lot of people who go to the gym already know this, but you can apply it to many different areas of life. But like my sister, she says like, she was telling me like a couple of weeks ago, or saying a couple of weeks ago, about how when you haven't been to the gym in a while, you just got to force yourself and get yourself up to do it at a certain point, because and that's pretty much what she said. But like the reason on why is because I'm not sure if you guys even heard that when I yawned. That's pretty much all she said. But the reason on why, as I was thinking about it after she said it, was because you literally have accumulated so much thoughts and feelings, so much of a characteristic of not doing said thing, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be gym, but in this case, it's like utilizing the free resources, doing your creativity, doing stuff that you really, really want to do that resonates to your true state of being, all that stuff. Then you've created this character, this form mentally that you're just sitting in, and you won't be able to get out of it at a certain point unless you force yourself. You can't just wait around for something to kind of give you that push, because especially if you've made it so heavy and so condensed and so much of a weight on your shoulders, it's going to get to a point where you like kind of need to force yourself because of how heavy it is. You need to kind of apply the same amount of heaviness to breaking out of that mental form as opposed to putting yourself into it. And then, when it comes to I had a point. I'm just trying to think. I'll go back. When it comes to the free resources that's available to you, it could be so easy to let that mental form take its power over you again and tell you, oh no, you can't do this, or you shouldn't do this, or you should just wait. But you're going to just you're digging yourself a bigger hole day by day by day. No matter how many times you tell yourself that you'll do it the next day and the next day. And like, this, like at the end of the day, I'm only reminding people what they already know. People already know this. I see people know this on so many different levels, but the difference is I don't see people apply it on so many different levels. I see people kind of know it for one area of their life and then apply it in like that area, but they don't realize that a lot of the stuff applies in multiple different areas, in multiple different avenues of your life. And this applies to any real natural, true knowledge. Like when it comes to something that's true and natural, you'll see everything correspond to it in its own unique way. But you'll be able to find a connection and how things are actually intertwined, like a twist, or twisted up and twined together and shit like that. You'll be able to see how they actually entwine and twist themselves together to make or to form certain circumstances, to the point where the connections can get a little bit endless, really. And the possibilities are really limitless. That's why all possibilities is the real true God, lack of a better word, because that word is tainted by humans. But all possibilities is limitless. It's about bringing something new and birthing something new into the world. It's not about the same old holistic energies and repetitive shit. So that's why I would rather jump into that space and work with that space of all possibilities than to jump into another space of God or some kind of limiting concept that's only formulated by one word and one way of or aspect of looking at something. It's how I can even talk to you guys about all this stuff right now, like, and apply it to so many different levels and areas, because I'm looking at it from the outside looking in. I'm not getting stuck into that same form. I'm not getting stuck into a same rotation of way of looking at things and seeing things. I'm able to transform, jump in and out of every form that I need to. And then as I'm jumping in and out of these forms, I'm able to look at it from above. And you guys can do the same. Anyone can do that. It's not about having some special ability or anything. This goes back to what I was just saying before. It's like, I'm only reminding you what you already know. Shout out to Dollar the Pilot Man. He always says that he's the freaking greatest YouTuber, greatest everything. And and no thing. So what's it called? When it comes to this, reminding you of what you already know. Once you realize that, you already knew this, you just haven't been utilizing it, or you haven't been able to take yourself out of the form, or out of the creation, out of the cage that you've trapped yourself in, thinking that world is one way and reality is one way, when all possibilities is really the only thing that's true, or change is really the only thing that's constant in reality. So this trying to hold on to the same old shit, the same old energies, the same old everything, you're just resisting natural order and natural states of beings that is actually holding you back, literally, in a spiritual and a physical way. It's holding you back spiritually because you're restricting your own mentality from transforming and changing and evolving and expanding. And then it's happening physically because everything that bends in from the mental will bend into the physical. So your physical circumstances aren't going to change. Your physical circumstances won't transform. So I say all this to say, get off your ass and do what you want to do. Pursue what kind of like stuff that resonates with your true state of being, because that's your spirit's expression. That's your spirit's space expressing itself into the material realm. If you don't do that, then nobody else will. Like, share your perspective. If you have an individual personal opinion and perspective on things, then like you're literally unique in your own special way. Like, nobody can take that, nobody can be you, nobody can emulate what you have and the space that you come from, the energy that you carry and create and manifest. Nobody can emulate that except for the bodies that you create, because you're the one that's creating those bodies, those mental forms, those everything. So if you realize that, at the end of the day, when you do and you resonate to things that are more resonating to your true state of being, let's say like the music, like the free resources I was just trying to put up for everyone, then you'll see that more of that circumstance manifests in your reality. First of all, more of those things start to condense. The less you do it, you'll see that condense, and then you'll just be trapped in this constant state of wishing to be in a certain space, wishing to be in a certain person or version of who you want to be, but staying stuck in that old aspect of yourself. And this is how, like, again, you've mentally put yourself in a cage again, like I was just explaining before. And then once you break yourself out of that and you start to do and align more with what you want to do and things that's resonating to your true state of being, your perspective as a space and a spirit, as no thing, being the creator. Oh, must be spitting some real shit. Nah. Well, not nah, actually, really, I am. I don't know why I say nah. It's just like a little bit of a coping mechanism by the sounds of it. Nah. Oh, anyways, let's go. So, yeah, as a space, as a no thing, you're literally the creator of that thing, of that intellectual property. So, the more that you resonate and create that in your reality, the more that you'll start to see it. Ain't nobody gonna like create the world or bring something into the world that's in your mind unless you do it. It's in your mind for a reason, you know. It's in your awareness, it's in your space, it's in your thoughts and feelings for a reason, because that's something that is tied to the moment that you first became aware as a spirit and how you help to teamwork makes the dream work, create and mold and shape the reality that we live in right now. I remember when my sister used to tell me that I used to talk with like, what's it called? My mouth would talk uneven, and I always used to get really, really upset about it. But I'm starting to look at my mouth. I'm like, oh, really? It actually kind of does. Like the way my lip goes, like that way. My bottom lip pulls that. My top lip pulls that way. Anyways, that's a bit of a distraction, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. I was looking at it just then, and I was like, oh, okay. It's funny how when something's reversed, you can see it the other way around. But anyways. So, yeah, when it comes to those things that you want to create in your reality, the things that you want to will into your reality, you literally just sometimes at a certain point you have to force yourself because you haven't created the spark, you haven't created the fume to emanate yourself out into the world. You're just like, it's literally just stayed within you, and then you're trying to expect it to manifest and will itself into reality. But the moment that like you take what's within you and you start to act on that, then that's when you actually start to emanate and push those things out. And the more you emanate and push it out, the more you'll get back. But if you're just staying like, oh, like at home, like you can do 1,000 manifestation rituals, 1,000 like things to manifest what you wanted to do. But if you don't get up and do something that relates to that pathway or the avenue of you achieving that, then you're not going to manifest much, if at all, because you haven't actually done the second part of the equation. Everything's from the mental to the physical. You just left it into the mental, and then you didn't enact it into the physical. And then all of a sudden you're looking at the world and you're like, why is nothing happening in the physical? Because you didn't use your physical. It's all about like attracts like I was just explaining in the start of the video. Like attracts like. So you can attract the mental, yeah. You might be able to attract or bring the mental towards you, but you didn't use the physical to attract anything. So you've just attracted all mental. And then maybe you're getting a little bit mental in your mind because you're like, oh, why am I not getting the things that I want in a timely fashion? Why am I like constantly overthinking and getting worried? Or why am I not getting what I wanted and it's like stressing me the frick out? Like whatever the train of thought or line of reasoning you have to go down in order to question yourself in that moment. But that's you like taking a moment and you're just attracting mental. You haven't got the second part of the equation. You haven't got the negative charge or the positive charge or whichever. I'm not going to argue at this point which one's positive and which one's negative. I could care less. But it's just an allegory to break down a representation of what we're doing. Of like, it's like a metaphor in a sense or whatever. So once you do the physical, you'll be able to start to see the fruits of whatever physical effort, whatever physical energy you just put into. But it will all happen starting from the mental in the first place. Like you wouldn't have the motivation, you wouldn't have the drive, you wouldn't have the thought to get up and do the physical thing if you didn't first have or you wouldn't have the action to do the physical thing unless it didn't first start from a point of you like mentally being there. So you're mentally in a space of being ready. You're mentally in a space of enacting and action, like people might struggle even in that sense because you might try to take action, but you may be forcing yourself to take action as opposed to realizing or going down and doing the shadow work of what mentalities, what thoughts and feelings you're actually using in order to stop you from enacting and playing out the action energy. So there's that ties back to some kind of restrictive or prison-like mind state where you've trapped yourself in your mind in a way, or you've stopped yourself from flowing and being fluid, or you've stopped yourself from expanding, or whatever that may tie to. There could be a few areas or one area, but going back to that mentality and doing the shadow work, what kind of actions have I allowed myself sorry, not actions have I allowed myself. What kind of thoughts and feelings have I allowed myself to consume and manipulate and manifest in my mind in order for me to play out this character of inaction with my body, you know? So, yeah, those are some free resources and skill building tips. You can use that to build so many different skills. You can use that to build so many different avenues and ways of going about things when it comes to building your ability, your action oriented skill, your ability to have, what is it called? Discipline. That's a skill, right? I think maybe that's not a skill, but I'm pretty sure those are skills. Anyways, you got to blend in sometimes. You got to blend in the dumb side of yourself and the smart side of yourself. But as you can see, I'm able to blend those too. So I'm becoming more adept at those kind of energies, and you can too. You just need to enact the right mental states. You get in the right mental states. Don't get lost into forms. Remember that the only thing that's constant is change, and don't stay stuck in a state of being stuck like that stubborn Taurus Baal energy that the shadow government likes everyone to get lost into, because that's just like bullshit, and that's why they call it that, because bullshit is just going to keep you in some bullshit. You're going to live life, and you're going to live life doing bullshit, smelling bullshit, acting like bullshit, being a bullshit ass person. And that's how the shadow government built the world. It's on bullshit energy, like Taurus bullshit, bullshit. It's all that good. So once you realize and pull yourself out of that stubborn state of being and being fixated and just always wanting to have that fixated portion of spring when you first gave birth to something, when you first became aware of something, and you just want to always have that one awareness, that one mind state, that one concept of something, in order for you to just constantly maintain that way of being in that state and that world. This is why it's like a one world order. They just want that one world order to stay the same, the one world concept to stay the same, changing the concept, but it's really the same concept, just constantly being changed and reiterated and rerun over the next few decades or however long it takes for them to update their shit. So once you realize that the only thing that's constant is change, you can adapt to change a lot easier. You can pull yourself out of mental forms a lot easier. You are not the mental form. You are not your thoughts or your feelings. And my gosh. And yeah, I think that's me for this video. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys got some spiritual game. And if you didn't, then that's all right. Maybe next time you can watch this, rerun the video and watch it again, or whatever it takes for you to be able to learn it. Or maybe you won't learn it, but that's not really up to me. That's always up to you as an individual and as a spirit. That's always up to you. What are you willing to do? How far are you willing to go? What levels are you willing to push yourself to? What levels are you willing to take your spirit to? Are you just willing to go here? Or are you willing to actually expand and grow to a level that maybe others might not have seen before? A level that's possible only in your imagination as of currently. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Laters!